Hello, welcome to GEOVIA Surpac Grade Control. Surpac Grade Control system is an automated step-by-step operation workflow. It's simple to use and easy to configure and can be easily customized to meet users' needs and requirements. The advantages of grade control automation is that it improves the accuracy of estimation for losses and dilution. It improves the convergence between the forecast and actual volumetric and quality indicators through the standardization and continuity of knowledge. It further improves the association between the geological data and mine planning processes, and its significant time saving due to the process being automated. Surpac Grade Control system has a uniform data storage structure, a uniform file naming conventions, and all information is structured according with data type, level number, and block number. However, the data structure and the naming convention can be configured according to the client's need. All the data are saved and extracted automatically in the appropriate directory. Such data includes your drill hole database, your master block model, mining block polygons, and your survey surfaces. You also have a styles files where you can configure your styles according to your data types. Open GEOVIA Surpac, navigate through Grade Control directory and set as a working directory. You'll be able to see the uniform data storage structure and the uniform file naming conventions. The data type is saved under the data folder. Navigate to menus and toolbars. Right click, go to menus, go to Grade Control. Check the Grade Control tools. In this case, you'll be able to view or see the grade control menu bars. The menu composed of data preparation, estimation reports, bench plotting, and setup. Setting up the data. Click Setup Options. You are automatically taken through grade control directory because you have chosen the grade control directory as your work directory. Click Apply. There are mandatory fields that needs to be populated before you can continue with setting up your data or inputting your data. In this case, you need the grade control database, the database that has your assay data. You have an options of also loading your exploration drill hole database. However, is optional. You are required to load your reference block model or your resource block model and to set up the bench block model directory. After that, click Apply. You'll be taken into a menu where you'll be able to input data. The first menu is drill hole database. Under the drill hole database, you are able to choose the sample table. Your sample table in this case will be your assay table. In the assay table, you are able to populate the fields for compositing. The field for compositing, that will be your assay data such as your gold. You can add as many as you want, such as your total carbon, such as your total sulfur. You can also set up the decimals. And you have to define the grade ranges for each. And you need to define the string ranges. And the unit. Is it grade per ton or percentages? In this case will be your grade per ton. Do you have a default waste grades or the top cut grades? You can choose to report and plot your data. You also have a field which is called a calculated field. If ever there is a calculation required between or any attributes that you need to populate within the database, you can do so by including your calculated fields. Block model. Under the block model, you can select as many grade attributes as you want. In this case, you need to select the grade attributes that are required for grade control. In this case, will be the gold, the total carbon, the total sulfur, and the low grade and the high grades. You need to define the name of the attributes in the report. The way the reports will be distributed is according to the names that you give in this format. You can choose to put in the diluted ore, however you will need to define it. You can do the grade ranges. The grade ranges in this regards needs to be the same as the grade ranges under your drill hole database. The string ranges needs to be the same also as the ones under the drill hole database. Lithology. You may opt to use the lithology. However, since the grade control in this case depends highly on the assay data, you may choose not to use the lithology. Under domain. Under domain, that's where you define your domains in sense of ore and waste. You can choose to define your domains in anyhow, as long as you'll be able to upload the file as DTMs and strings. In this case, I have ore and waste. My ore will have a domain ID of 300. My waste will have an ore domain of 302. There's an option of putting formula for calculating the density. You can put a constant density value, or you can opt to put the formula itself. Then you have to define the styles or the color for that domain. In this case, red is for ore and yellow for waste. Your domain solid files, you can opt to choose the domaining method as a solid or string. The DTM surfaces, there are two mandatory fields where you have an upper DTM surface and lower DTM surface. The upper DTM surface can be your topo and the lower DTM surface can be your pit. Estimation parameters. Under estimation parameters, the same options that you put under description have to match the domains. In this case, our domains was ore and waste. Therefore, we need to estimate the ore and waste. In this regard, you are able to choose the estimation method of ordinary kriging and inverse distance. However, if ever there is a need for more estimating method, it can be customized according to customers' needs. You can also choose user block model sizes. As for your X, Y, Z, those are the values for user block size. Or classification. Or classifications enables you to be able to choose and classify your ore in this regard as a lower grade, medium grade, or higher grade. You can further have attributes for that. In this case, if it's a lower grade, my attributes still remain gold. Or for higher grade, my attributes can be my total sulfur. You have operations. In this regard, you can have operations to define the lower grade. In this sense, it will be gold being less than 0.7 value. Therefore, it will only classify low grade values below 0.7. You have as many as 8 attributes to populate. The area. An area defines the bench definition, your pit ID, your bench range, your bench heights, and number of lift. You can opt to add more than one bench range and bench height. Preference. The preference is your options of compositing length. It gives all the information regarding composite and loss and dilution, and also the volume calculation method. The plots. The plots gives you the auto plots where you are able to do your plot setup, block plan, drawing area, grid, borders, tick borders, and you also have your title block. And you can define your report title. In this case, I can write Manhattan. As my report. Update bench block model. Update bench block model. You scan the attributes that you have defined within the block model to match the resource and the grade control model. As you've seen through the setup, you were required to put in the grade control database and the resource block model. Therefore, the resource block model needs to match your grade control in order to create a new block model. After everything, you click apply. After setup, you go to data preparation. You create a block model. The process becomes automated. It picks up all the files that you have set up under the setup menu. It will automatically define the pit ID, the bench crest, the blast number. After clicking apply, you choose the block that you want to create the block model on. It will automatically create a block model for you according to the block sizes you've defined under setup. You now define the domain definition. It will automatically pick all the values that you have chosen under the setup. You click apply. The process itself becomes automated. It runs and defines the domains within your block model. And it will populate the menu after that. You now have defined your domains. If you are happy with the domains you have defined, you can go back to data preparation, save your domains, click apply. After saving the domains, you now go back to data preparations and assign domain codes. You click apply. It will assign the domain codes into the block model. You'll have a prompt menu asking you if ever the domain is correct. If ever you are happy with the domain, you click apply. Those are area of the defined domains. After that, you go to estimation. You click apply. It will automatically pick up all the definition. You remember under setup, we managed to define the ore and the waste. It will run estimation for the ore using the kriging method. And it will estimate all the attributes in all domain in the block model. And thereafter runs an estimation for your waste. After, you'll have a prompt menu asking if ever the grade estimation is correct. You click apply. After the estimation processes, you can move to reporting. Under report tab, you click create a report. The process itself is automated. Therefore, when you click apply, it will pick up the setup you defined under setup menu. The process will run through the calculation and you'll have a reporting default which shows your loss, dilutions and density. You'll have a report in a CSV format. Your report composes of your in-situ reserve, standard dilutions, standard losses, and your ore. It will show you your bench crest, elevations, your blast numbers, polygon number, and the material code as defined through the setup menu. Under report, you can also export the CSV coordinates. In this case, the process itself is also automated. After you export the polygons to CSV, you navigate to your grade control directory, go to reportings and graphics. You'll be able to see the bench height, and if you open the report, you'll be able to see the values, your coordinates. You can also opt to update your bench block model. In this case, you just click under your reports, click your update bench block model, and you click apply. It will update your resource block model, in this case called the master block model. Then you navigate through data, go to block model, go to the 3DM block model, which is your master block model. Thank you for watching the video.